I'm your host, Doc Bob Lee, and you're watching Open, that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our next guests are an independent activist and the president and CEO of Project Renewal. They join us to highlight their organization's impact on ending the cycle of homelessness and shine a light on the support services that are opening in our community. So please welcome to the show Eric Rosenbaum and Shams DaBaron. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Look. You guys got to clap too. Well, listen, there's a whole lot happening in our community, and I'm sure you guys want to shine a light on some of the things that you're participating in. Eric and Shams, welcome, first of all. And can you explain a little bit about the Project Renewal's holistic approach to supporting those experiencing homelessness?
Sure. Project Renewal started about 58 years ago with a program on the Lower East Side of Manhattan helping individuals struggling with alcohol abuse.
Yeah.
Today, we're a multi-service organization operating throughout the city, providing shelter and housing, healthcare, educational and workforce development opportunities, focused mostly on individuals who have experienced homelessness, along with mental illness and substance use disorders, or people coming out of prison.
Yeah. And Shams, how did you get involved?
Well, I have a lengthy history of struggling with homelessness. I grew up in foster care since the age of 2, started experiencing homelessness at the age of 10, was permanently discharged into the streets with no safety net at the age of 12. During the pandemic, I entered right before it, I entered a Project Renewal shelter. Was kind of forced to stay there due to some of the policies under the Blasio administration. And I kind of rose to prominence as not activist, but as the homeless hero during the pandemic while we were transferred at the Lucerne Hotel. And so our collaboration came in fighting against the then mayor's attempt to move us from that hotel into another hotel, and been going ever since.
Yeah, and that's been your personal experience throughout life from then until now. Started from the bottom, now you're here.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
It's not all gloom and doom, but at the same time, you know, the experience of being a foster kid, what they call a throwaway kid, and also raising my son in a family shelter system, and then as a single adult when he aged out, and I had to navigate either street homelessness or shelter and stuff like that. It just gives me well-rounded understanding of what it's like to be housing insecure and homeless.
And Shams is he's just one person out of a lot of the people who've come through your organization.
We house about 3,000 people every night in an entire spectrum of housing, from very transitional shelter to permanent supported housing. And almost all of those environments provide supportive services like primary care, psychiatry, substance use treatment, educational and workforce opportunities, to really build not just housing, but to create a community that really supports people.
Oh, Shams looks good. Doesn't it look good? Ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause. Jay. You come along? He's working with you now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's on our board of directors.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
So, I went from sleeping in the shelter to actually serving on the board of directors, board of trustees. So I get to help shape policy and, help Project Renewal basically understand things from the perspective of someone that lived the life, that has that experience.
So, Eric, when Shams steps into the room, the board of directors, people know, and this is a person who's been through it.
It's real.
He's come all the way through it,
Yeah, and the one thing that's important is finding the value and elevating the voices of people with lived experience, not just myself, but a lot of people, the different dynamics of the homeless experience or being housing insecure. And different groups and subpopulations have their own challenges. So being an example, which is the most important thing, of someone who live that, but can have a seat at the table, at the decision-making table is important.
Shams, do you get the opportunity to talk to some of the people who are coming in off the streets?
I do it
to
all the
Project
time.
Renewal? Yeah.
I do it all the time. So this is where I say that it's more than activism, it's more than advocacy. Yesterday marked 5 years since we have moved into the Lucerne Hotel. So within this 5 years, I've evolved to the point where I'm helping to shape policy, how the city addresses homelessness and housing insecurity. But what people don't know is that I also go out in the streets, spend a night once a month in the streets, but I also go out in the streets and I help get people off the streets into safe havens and into ultimately into permanent housing. And in addition to, serving on the board at Project Renewal, I'm also a member of the Mayor's Charter Revision Commission, which is directly addressing housing in the city.
Beautiful. And you know all the spots where people camp out or sleep out?
I wouldn't say I know all, but definitely from the experience, I know,
You know where you would go if you needed to sleep out.
Yeah, because most of the time we're looking for a safe space.
Yeah, I had an older brother that was doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I pulled up to a gas station on 11th Avenue with somebody from the radio station, and I said, "That's my brother with the shopping cart over there." They said, "Get out of here." I said, "No, that's my brother." And I called him over, and he explained all the things that he had to go through at the time.
Yeah.
And Eric, you know that a lot of people need a lot of help in our city.
They sure do.
Now,
They sure do.
with the way things are going now, are things going to get worse or better? Or we'll still be able to sustain some of the things that we're doing with the organization since it's been in operation for like 56 years or something like that, you said?
Yeah. This is a crisis, but it's a crisis that's been evolving in slow motion for decades. Today in New York City, everybody estimates that there's a gap of about 500,000 affordable apartments. I think here in the Bronx, 60% of the residents are paying way more than 30 to 40% of their income just for rent.
Yeah.
There's no neighborhood that's really affordable anymore. So the people that you see on the streets who are possibly in a mental health crisis or using substances, that's the tip of the iceberg of people who really are, as Shams said, housing insecure.
Yeah.
So the city's been doing a lot to try and accelerate housing creation, but the gap is enormous.
Yeah. I have some numbers up on the screen now. Talk about those.
About 10,000 people a year that we work with in 2023. About 98% of the people we work with in shelter who are placed on housing still stay there, so they're achieving the housing stability that you really want from shelter. And we served 1.5 million meals through our catering company, City Beat Kitchens, that trains and employs people who have been formerly homeless for great jobs in food services.
Yeah.
You can host a wedding and a bar mitzvah and feed them through City Beat Kitchens.
Wow, wow. Can we rewind? And there's a group of people that I want to put up on the screen. Let us know who that group is. Are they all working with you, or they're part of right there?
Oh, wow. That is our occupational therapy team. We have been incredible pioneers in using occupational therapy to help people who often don't know how to do some of the most basic things we take for granted in our daily lives. Personal grooming, shopping, nutrition, showing up for doctor's appointments, taking medication on time. Occupational therapy is an incredible resource, and we have it in every single one of our programs.
Yeah. Shams, is this something that you see that you want the city to participate more in? Something that the organization needs that you want to work?
I have the unique position of working closely with the administration. So whenever I want something done,
you let them
I
know.
just make a call to Brother Mayor or Sister so-and-so, and it gets done. Yeah. So if you look at, my history, things like elimination of the 90-day rule, which allows people to start the process of getting a voucher on day one as opposed to waiting 90 days to do it. We're impactful for that. I brought 50 homeless people, formerly homeless people, into City Hall to meet since the start of administration, meet once a month with the deputy mayors and agency heads relevant to housing and homelessness. I'm also helped to orchestrate and coordinate with the City of Yes Housing Initiative. So most of the work that I do is closely tied to the administration dealing with housing and homelessness. I do it as a volunteer. Nobody pays me. I don't need a title. I don't need a job. The title I got is the homeless hero. They call me the housing hero now and stuff. So,
but you need to get paid for it now, though.
Nah, well, you know.
Come on, man.
Well, I did set up a real estate development company. And the thing with me, when you talk about going to what your question was, is I'm a person that looks at trying to provide solutions.
Yeah.
So originally, 5 years ago, you know, I was just seeing the problem of it, and I was experiencing the problem.
Yeah.
So that's what I talked about. But I knew quickly, like, hey, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time talking about the problem. I want to get to the solution.
Right, right.
And I learned that the solution to homelessness is housing. Yeah. And so I set up a real estate development company in order to do that. And right now, you know, that company is going to be responsible for bringing 1,000 units of housing to Harlem.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the man is worthy of his wages. So yeah, you got to get paid. But there's more ways to get paid than from just monetarily.
So I was intentional about that.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is show people that a person can go from sleeping on a park bench, sleeping in a cardboard box, sleeping on a train, sleeping in a shelter. A person can go from that. And without money, without any white savior, anything like that, without any organizational support, you can start where you at.
Yeah.
And I started by changing me, how I thought, how I did things, and then always trying to outdo myself, always challenging myself. So each year I say, okay, this year I'm going to influence politics. This year I'm going to influence the city and how they address policies and their policies. And then now I'm moving into real estate development. But it's really just to show that we can do that. But I did it intentionally saying, you can also do it without money. And so now, though, it's like, it's
that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm tired of getting those late notices.
That's right.
But the example, because I've been very prominent in the space in these 5 years, the example for a person that is in the shelter to see when I go back to Project Renewal and I see my peers, and when they see like, wow, I just showed them what's possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Before I get back to you, Eric, what do you tell people who are homeless and who are looking for a way out? I know you speak to them all the time, but that person that you see, you can look in their eyes and you can tell that they need some sort of help, want a way out, but, you know, it's blurry for them.
Yeah. It's very difficult, and the whole concept is basically meeting them where they're at. I think I have an ability, and because I've lived it, to kind of speak the language and kind of give them some sense of hope just in the fact that I've been there, and to kind of like direct them to different resources that when I was out there, I didn't even know they existed. So now that I'm much more aware, I'm able to like give them that sense of hope. And I stay with people. When I get them and they get my number, they call me anytime. Many of the people, especially men, a lot of young black men are going through a lot of bad experience with housing insecurity and homelessness.
Yeah.
And then the mental health issues come with that. So I have a lot of people, quite a few, who have called me and they're on the brink of suicide.
Yeah.
And talking them through like, hey, give me a second, let me make a call. I got you. And then sending the right type of help. I know how to speak their language, but I also know what type of help that they may be needing.
Yeah.
And then the beauty of this is I get them to trust me. They go inside. They get the support that they need, mental health and otherwise, and I stay with them. And then you see 3-6 months later, they're sending me a text saying, I got my keys. Oh my God, thank you. You saved my life. And I tell them, I said, no. I didn't save your life. You saved your life.
You saved your life.
You know, you stuck with it. You trusted. You did that, but that's your power. You know, and they say, well, you got to come by. I got to get you something to eat. You know, I'll make a dinner. And I said, no. You don't have to do nothing except pay it forward.
Yeah. But you know the old commercial, no, it's not fried, it's shake and bake, and I'll help. I don't know how far you go back with that one. But you know, it's all a love thing. It's a circle of love, and you guys helped them out. Eric, finally, before we wrap up, how do you put all these things together? Homelessness, mental health, substance abuse, criminal justice.
Over the years, we've built kind of a complicated organization because we provide a lot of services that are licensed and regulated and funded by the city, by the state, by the federal government. But I like to think that we are big enough to have all of the services or most of the services that the people we work with need, but we're small enough that we actually know each one of those people by name. We know where they live. We meet them where they live. We bring to them what they need. We partner with them to achieve their goals. And I think that's the recipe for success for us.
There's that big title right there, Eric Rosenbaum, MS, MBA, President and Chief Executive Officer, Project Renewal, and Shams DaBaron, Independent Activist and Board Member of Project Renewal. Thank you guys. You guys are a wonderful tag team, I tell you. Don't they put it together? Give them a big round of applause. Thank you guys for all you do in our community. We really, really appreciate you, and we need you guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know, God is good all the time.
All the time.
That is a
all
blessing.
the time,
It is
God
a
is good.
blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll
right.
take a quick break. I've got more open coming your way next. Stand by.